What's going on, guys? Back at you again. Now we're going to go over picks 11 through 20, and we're going to get right through it. I had time to kind of just go through and put them down so I didn't waste as much time, so the video doesn't take as long. So we're going to get right through it, and hopefully under 10 minutes this time. So first pick I made, let's not forget, I had the Vikings trade up with the Pats to number 3, so the Vikings will have given up their 11th overall and their 20th overall to the Pats. So in other words, the Pats have the 11th pick right now, and I have the Patriots. I had them picking Michael Penix. And my thinking on that, if you look at their depth chart, they have problems everywhere. So why not just solve quarterback now? Because you don't know what's going to happen next year. Jacoby Brissett, basically the same. They're not the same exact type of player, but the same mentality, same type of style, stylistically. So it makes sense for Penix to come in right here and take this spot eventually after preseason, and that pressure starts kicking in. Because think about it. They draft a receiver. How does that help? You still need a quarterback. You know what I mean? You draft anywhere else, it doesn't make any sense. At what? Line, you're decent. Tight end, you're fine. Receivers, you're going to need receivers. But you need someone to throw to those receivers. Brissett, he's not a starter. He's a backup. Let's be honest. You look at their defense. Their defense kind of kept them in games last year, so I'm not too worried about the defense. You're going to have Christian Gonzalez come back. So I think they're going to be okay on defense. It's offense. I think if they can get Michael Penix acclimated and get the right guys around him, a.k.a. receivers, he'll be just fine. So if they draft him and they, let's say, sign another receiver, like they get like a Julio Jones or something, or they draft a receiver in the second round. Actually, they have 2 first-round picks. So, yeah, we just got to see. Oh, guys, you know what? I messed up the 20th pick because I just realized the Patriots are picking 20th. And I had the Steelers picking that. I'll tell you who I had the Steelers pick when we get there, but I'm going to have to switch that. And we'll make that pick together. I just noticed that. So the Pats should have had 2 picks. Their 20th pick I made to the Steelers. I'll tell you right now, I had the Steelers picking a receiver at 20. Xavier Worthy. And if you look at Xavier Worthy, where is he? Xavier Worthy. I think he's on page 2. Look at his comparison. This is why I picked him to go to the Steelers. But it's not going to happen if the trade happens that I think will happen. Xavier, not this guy. There's another. We're here. Xavier Worthy. Look at who they compare him to, guys. Deshaun fucking Jackson. That's why. So if the Steelers are at 20 and Xavier Worthy is there, I believe that they will pick him, guys. Because you don't pass on a Deshaun Jackson if you're at pick 20. Like, that's just not something that's on the menu. Like, you just don't do that. Drake London, holy shit, this is a good comparison. And these guys are going to go later. But anyway, back to the order. So I got the Pats at 11 picking Michael Penix. So the 12th pick was the Broncos, but I had the Giants trading with them. So with the Giants, let's look at their depth chart so you can see my thinking with the Giants. With the Giants, I had them picking Brian Thomas. So I think they're just going to roll with Daniel Jones because they paid him. When you pay someone that much, you have to use them. You know what I mean? They're just stuck with them, so they're going to have to make it work. Daboll is going to have to make it work, or he'll be fired. And guess what? Bill Belichick might walk right on into that spot. We'll talk about Bill Belichick's landing spot in another video, but that's just the thought. So I'm thinking they go receiver. You throw receiver in there. Now you'll have Slayton. You'll have the new guy, Hyatt. You'll have a bunch of guys because that's what you're going to need on the Giants. You're going to need weapons because you lost Saquon. So addition by subtraction. Like, you need to do that. Singletary's not going to be able to carry your offense. And you can't draft a running back, number 1. That's just stupid. You're not the Falcons. You know what I mean? You cannot do that. So that's why I think they're going to go receiver. Their tight end is good. Their O-line is actually not bad when you look at it. It's their quarterback that's bad. and there aren't enough left. You know what I mean? At this pick at number 12, all they would be able to pick is Bo Nix, right? And who's the other guy? Where is he? I don't think I have it. Yeah, all they would have is Bo Nix or Spencer Rattler, and Rattler is not a starter in the NFL. Well, in my opinion, he's not. Maybe he can develop into one, but as of right now, a 6'1", 217-pound guy coming out of college, South Carolina, is not going to be the guy for you to win. Just saying. You know what I mean? No offense to the guy or anything. I just don't see that happening. Who knows? He might be the next Tom Brady, but I don't see it. All right, so I got Brian Thomas going there. Where is he on the list? So you guys can see his comparison. Where is he? Brian Thomas. Where the hell is this guy? Is he on the first page then? I thought he was on the second page. He's definitely not one of the top guys. I know that for a fact. Oh, there he is. So Brian Thomas, they compare him to T. Higgins, guys, and they need a big receiver. So I got the Giants picking big body Brian Thomas. They have all shorter guys. All their receivers are like 6 foot 5'11", so they need a possession big guy other than Waller. All right, next is hold on one second. I got this all messed up for a second. So we had the Broncos, which is really the Giants. The Raiders. So the Raiders at 13, guys. All right, let's look at their depth chart. The Raiders, and I'm going to tell you right now, I had them picking a left tackle because they drafted Aiden O'Connell last year, right? And they signed Minshew to either back him up. So why would they sign Minshew if they were going to draft a quarterback? You wouldn't. You would have kept Aiden and drafted the guy if that's what you were going to do. So that tells me they're going to stick with O'Connell. You know what I mean? Because if you sign Minshew, that means you want to back someone up or have someone backing up what you already have or get someone that you're going to draft. So either way, you know what I mean? This makes more sense that they are not drafting a quarterback. So what I had them doing, I had them drafting a right tackle because this guy I think is like 30 years old. He's just not their guy, you know what I mean? You need to protect your quarterback. They lost a running back, so you just need that protection. So I think it's a boring pick, I know, but it's a pick that's going to help because you need protection. So I think they're going to get right tackle. And then their next pick will be wide receiver because there are a shit ton of wide receivers in this draft. So they'll go right tackle, so they get one of the best ones. And then they'll go wide receiver. And then they'll probably go running back. And then they'll work on defense if there's anything left, which there will be. There are so many edge players that we haven't even picked yet. The edge guys are going to go later. They're going to go in the late first round, second round. But I think they're going to go late first round because we got like the better teams that always like edge guys. So we'll see. So, so I got them picking Joe Alt. So if we go to page 1, Joe Alt, I think he's listed. Yep, he's the best tackle. And they compare him to Andrew Thomas on the Giants. So that's not bad. So Joe Alt, I got him going to the Raiders at 13. All right. Next, we got... Why did it do that? Hold on one second. Saints. I don't know why I did that like that. All right, next we got the Saints at 14. And let's look at their depth chart so we can see what's up with them. The Saints... I had them picking a tackle as well. I know, boring. Because they're not going to get a quarterback. They just paid Derek, and they have Taysom Hill. Right? Alvin Kamara, and they have Jamal Williams, so they're not getting a running back. Receiver, they could use a receiver, which they'll probably do in the second round. I see them getting a receiver second round, but the problem is they need a left tackle because this guy right here, I was just looking at him, he's not good at all. So the Saints, in order to protect Derek Carr and give him the protection he needs and all that money they spent, they're also going to get a tackle. So that's 3 tackles. Well, 2 tackles so far picked in a row. I just gave away my next thing. So, yeah, the Saints are picking this guy a tackle or a tackle. All right, next pick, I already said it. It's the Colts. And, yep, you guessed right. You heard me. I have them picking a tackle. But let's see why I have them picking a tackle, and let's see who I picked. So you have Richardson, who missed the whole year last year, right, after 1 game. So the main focus is protecting him, because if he goes down again and he's out for the year, now you're going to get fired. That's just the way that goes. So in order to keep your job security itself, just that alone, you need a left tackle, right? This guy needs to be gone. Braden, we know who he is. Kelly, Nelson, I don't even know who that is, but they need a left tackle, guys. Someone they can depend on and protect their guy. And they got Joe Flacco backing them up. Pittman, they'll probably get a receiver in next pick. Not saying that Downs and Pierce aren't good, but they're more speed guys. And I think they like where they are on defense. Defense, they're not bad. So I have them picking Troy Fautanu. Let's see what he's looking like. Troy Fautanu right here. Tackle. Who is compared to Peter Skoronski or Skoronski. I know. Oh, that's the guy on the Lions, right? Yeah, so that's not a bad comparison. So now you get a Peter Skoronski on the Colts to protect your quarterback. I think that's a wonderful pick for them, and it will do numbers and wonders. All right, next is pick 16. Pick 16, and it is the Seattle Seahawks. For all you Seahawks fans. Yep, give you a minute to guess who I picked. Looking at their depth chart, good at running back, receiver, damn good. Tight end, could use a tight end. Linemen are pretty good, could use a center, but centers are never going in the first round ever, unless you're Nick Mangold. And the Jets, right? And then you look on defense, they're set on defense. They could probably maybe use a safety, right? But you don't pick a safety in round 1 unless it's Ed Reed. And they could use maybe a Bobby Wagner, but you don't really care for a middle linebacker. So that's why in the NFL you work on offense. Defense is on the back burner in the NFL. The smart teams draft offense. You know what I mean? How is drafting a middle linebacker going to help you? Or an outside linebacker if it's not an edge rusher? How does that help your team? Like, literally anyone can play those positions. I'm not saying they're going to be Ray Lewis, but they can plug in and play just fine as an NFL player. But the positions like rushing, like rush end, right? Positions like quarterback, receiver, basically positions that affect the game. And it can happen on every play or any play. Those are the positions that you have to get right. So that's why I have the Seahawks picking Bo Nix. Because they're good everywhere, guys. If you look at their team, they're good. They just need a coach that knows what the fuck he's doing and get them on point. And Geno Smith isn't their future. He's, 34, you know? Like, he's still got another 5-10 years, but when you're in your 30s, teams don't tend to build around you, even though they have with other guys, but they don't tend to. They can, but they don't tend to. You know what I mean? So, I mean, I know 30 is the new 20, and guys are playing until they're in their 40s nowadays, but even with that being said, teams like to be, even with Tom Brady, they were doing 1-year contracts. Like, they just want to protect their money, even though they make so much of it. So I got Bo Nix coming here, and I think he's going to end up playing this year. Geno's going to have a slow start because it's not going to be Pete Carroll, guys. You got to remember, since Pete Carroll's not there, it's going to be a new regime. So since it's a new regime, this isn't their guy. They didn't pick Geno Smith. Geno Smith wasn't in their plans. You know what I mean? So the new regime is going to come in here and use Geno as a bridge. Use him as a guy to teach the new guy how to be a quarterback and a professional. That's what they'll do, and then they'll tell him, step aside. The new guy's coming in. The new guy, Bo Nix, is 6'2", 217. This guy is 6'3", 212. Basically the same size. He's got an inch and 4 pounds on him. Honestly, at this stage of his career, I think Bo Nix moves better than Geno Smith. Bo Nix actually can move very well. If you watch his film, he's a quite mobile guy. Like, you got douchebags out here really putting too much emphasis on the color of people's skin. I don't care that he's a white guy. That doesn't mean anything. The dude is an athlete. The dude can move. The dude can make plays and extend plays and make shit happen. It's a joke to me that he's the 6th rated quarterback. Like, he could be higher rated. I'll leave it what it is, but that's just, you know what I mean? It's stereotypical. That's what it is, because this guy is an athlete, man. He should be highly projected, much higher than this, but it is what it is. He'll get drafted onto a good team like the Seahawks, and he's gonna flourish. Why? Look at who he has around him, guys. He's got DK Metcalf. He's got Tyler Lockett. Basically, all the players Russell Wilson ran away from for whatever reason. It was scripted that way, guys. So Bo Nix is gonna come in here and take this team over and kill it, guys. He's gonna basically be a better version of Russell Wilson. I'm not saying he's going to be better than Russell Wilson was. I'm saying better than him now. I think Bo Nix is better than Russell Wilson is today. I know I don't mean to slob on his knob, but right now, today, if you watch his film, he is a better player. He's a better athlete. He's younger. You know what I mean? A lot of that has to play with it. He took less hits. So, you know what I mean? Less surgeries. All that shit adds up. All that matters. All right, next pick. We spent a lot of time on that. All right, it's the Jaguars at 17. The Jaguars at 17. And looking at their depth chart, guys, they're pretty stacked. You know what I mean? They got quarterbacks. They got running backs. Tank is a beast. They got wide receivers. You know what I mean? They got a tight end. Their O-line is good, guys. They could probably... Oh, this guy's a rookie, actually, from last year. So their O-line is set. Their offense is set. They could maybe use another... Every team can use another receiver. So I'll stop saying that. Every team can use a receiver. And you look on defense, that's where maybe they can use help. But this team is stacked. This is a good team. They should have made the playoffs last year. They should have made a run. It's just baffling to me how the NFL just scripted them out of the playoffs for the Dolphins. The Jags and the Chiefs would have been a much better watch than the Dolphins. I'm sorry. But especially in that cold weather. But I guess the Jags would have died in the cold as well. But either way, I looked at their corners and I looked at Ronald Darby. There's no way you're going to have a 32-year-old, 5'11 cornerback starting for you. So I have them picking Quinyon Mitchell. And wait till you see who they have him up against. Or his comparison, I should say. Quinyon Mitchell, I have him going to the Jaguars. And I'll tell you right now, he is a fucking shutdown cornerback. Where is he? Right here, guys. Look at his comparison. Jaylon Johnson of the Bears, guys, who is a top 5 cornerback, guys. So that's who I have the Jags drafting. Now you put a guy like him on there, a shutdown corner, and you have Tyson Campbell on the other side. You got Andre Cisco. You know what I mean? Maybe you draft a safety for this guy. I don't know who this guy is. Darnell Savage is from the, the Packers. So, yeah, I have them picking that corner, and that's going to help their defense immensely. They're going to be so much better because of that one pick. So I got them picking Quinyon Mitchell, cornerback. All right, next pick, we got the Bengals, and I think the Bengals are going to be fucking great this year, guys. This team, I know they were 9-8 last year, but this team is going to be fucking good this year. They don't need quarterback. They do need running back. Without a doubt, they need a running back. They'll probably wait till the later rounds. They'll probably draft 2 running backs because they're not worried about defense. They realize who they are. They're going to worry about offense and build on that. So I have the Bengals picking a wide receiver because they lost the other guy. They have Chase and Higgins, but they lost their third guy. I forgot his name. His name escapes me. I don't want to spend too much time trying to think of it, but they did lose a guy. And Tyler Boyd. They lost Tyler Boyd. I forgot where he went. So this guy will replace Tyler Boyd, and he's going to be better. They end up picking up Mike Gesicki, who was a non-factor on Miami because of Tua. And I'm telling you right now, Mike Gesicki is going to have a career year with Joe Burrow. Mark my words. I can already see it. This is going to be a great connection. He's going to open up more shit for Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, and this receiver that I'm about to tell you in a minute. Their O-line is pretty made well. They picked up a couple of tackles, right? Their inside is basically the same. Their defense was good, guys, last year. It was good enough. They made plays. I don't think they're going to do too much. Maybe they'll add one other player, but their defense is what it is. They might get a corner, you know what I mean? A corner and a safety and call it a day. But, you know what I mean? Their front four is the same. Their linebackers are the same, guys. DJ Turner is decent, so they'll probably draft a corner and a safety. But this first pick, I have them getting a receiver, guys. And I have them picking Adonai Mitchell. Now let's look at his comparison. Adonai Mitchell might be on the second page. Let's see. Right here, yep. Adonai Mitchell, Texas wideout, who is compared to George Pickens, guys. Can you imagine a George Pickens or George Pickens on the Bengals with Joe Burrow, guys? This is what we're talking about here. Okay, he runs a 4.3, 6'2", really probably 6'3". Like, yeah, this is going to work. Players like this work with Joe Burrow. He's compared to George Pickens, guys. He's going to be a beast if they actually are right about this. So that's what I have. And then their next pick is going to be a corner. And that's what I think will happen with the Bengals. They'll pick him first. They'll get a corner. And then they'll get a safety. And then they'll probably work on, I don't know, a running back maybe. Yeah, because they lost Joe Mixon. So they're gonna go receiver, corner, running back. That's probably what they'll do, because you got to replace Joe Mixon. Like, that's someone that you can't just act like that's not gonna hurt. Losing Joe Mixon is gonna hurt, guys. Believe that. All right. Next, we got two more picks. The next pick is the Rams. So let's take a look at their depth chart. The Rams. LA Rams. Los Angeles Rams. So I got the Rams. I looked at them, and I kept thinking to myself, what could hurt this team? And it's Matthew Stafford getting hurt again. If Matthew Stafford goes down, this team can't win. Even with Jimmy Garoppolo. I think Garoppolo was only good in that 49er system because it was made for him. I don't think Garoppolo is going to work anywhere else. You know what I mean? He had that one good year in New England because no one had film on him. He reunited with McDaniels and couldn't do shit. You know what I mean? Because there's been 10 years of film on him. So if you think Garoppolo is going to be the savior, you're going to be mistaken. Stetson Benson was a complete bust. They should have never wasted a draft pick on him. That was a catastrophe in itself. Couldn't believe they did that. So now, it'd be nice to have another receiver, like a third guy to help take pressure off these guys. But you still got Higbee. That's good. The problem with this team is their left tackle. This guy, this is who you have protecting Stafford. So that's why I have them picking Tyler Guyton at left tackle. And that's going to help Stafford stay upright. And that's going to finally fill that position that they are missing from that guy that retired after they won that Super Bowl, Andrew Whitworth. So this could help so much, guys. This could bring them right back to where they need to be. You guys don't understand how much a left tackle, a right tackle, an edge player, a quarterback, an impact receiver. You don't understand how much those 5 positions can do. You really don't. Those 5 positions can change a football game at a moment's notice. So Tyler Guyton, let's see his comparison. Right here, Tyler Guyton, offensive tackle. They compare him to Lane Johnson, guys. Lane fucking Johnson. Is any team going to be mad at having a Lane Johnson on their team? You know the answer to that. Dude's have what? He's had a 15-year career and still going. Hall of Famer, all that. Back in his day when he was younger, like in his 20s, he was faster than tight ends. He used to be running out, pulling faster than all the running backs out there to go block, corner, safety, run up the sideline. Oh, yeah. So I got the Rams picking Tyler Guyton. A guy like this can change everything, guys. 6'8", 322. I told you how I felt about the tall guys, but he's an athlete. This guy, special guy. So there are exceptions to every rule, and he is that. So I picked Tyler Guyton to the Rams. If they pick him, oh, they've got themselves a doozy. All right, the final pick for today. I told you I oversaw it. I thought it was the Steelers, but it's the Pats because of the trade I had them do. So originally I had the Steelers picking Xavier Worthy, the wide receiver, who is compared to Deshaun Jackson, and he's out of Texas. So I got to cross that out because I didn't pay attention. So let's go back to the Patriots, and I had them drafting Michael Penix with the 11th pick, right? So assuming they have Penix already, this is their second pick now, guys. I think they need to get an explosive player. And I think Xavier Worthy still would make sense here. Imagine having Deshaun Jackson. Because if you're going to get a quarterback, you might as well pair him with a receiver. Just do it. 1-2 punch. And I think that's what they're going to do. They got the tight ends already, right? They got 2 tight ends. O-line is okay. They got a decent running back. They got 2 good running backs. Kendrick Bourne is okay. Juju is a slot guy at best. I think if they can get one impact guy that can change the game, that puts New England back on the map. With Michael Penix, I'm saying, not with Jacoby Brissett. Their defense is already put together, like we said earlier. I know it's not going to be Bill running it, but they're still going to be good. They still got Judon and most of their core guys. That's what matters, the core guys. So let's look for a receiver. Because I could still go with Xavier Worthy, guys, as their receiver they pick up. Hold on one second. Let me just make sure. Where's the Steelers' other pick? Oh, wait, no. All right. No guy. All right. That's my mistake. All right, I had it right the first time. It's because I have so many things crossed out here. Because this was from my other list. I saw Pats, but it was from my other list that I crossed out. So that's what we're doing, guys. Pick number 20. The Steelers are picking Xavier Worthy, guys. That's the pick. I'm sorry I hit you with the okie doke. I confused myself. So yeah, that's who the Steelers are picking, guys. Xavier Worthy, wide receiver out of Texas. Xavier Worthy. Next year I'm gonna type this out so there's not too much crossing out. Like, look at this. It's all messed up. That's why I was like, what the hell? So yeah, those are the picks. So the Steelers are going to pick Xavier Worthy, guys, in my opinion. They'll have Pickens, right? They'll have Van Jefferson, Xavier Worthy. Quez Watkins is a speed demon. You know what I mean? They already got the running back. They got 2 quarterbacks, Pat Freiermuth and Darnell Washington, so they're good at tight end. And Michael Pruitt is a faster tight end. O-line is going to have to do. Probably not the greatest, but you know what I mean? It's going to have to do. And their defense is always decent. That's what they rep, is defense. That's who they are. So, I mean, they're pretty good on defense. So I think they're going to go Xavier Worthy. Because Michael Tomlin is always going for receivers. And he's really good at drafting them. I think Xavier Worthy with that speed will work. Russell Wilson is known for the deep ball, so if you can hit this guy in stride, I think it could work. Remember him with Tyler Lockett, how that looked? I think Xavier Worthy is going to be just fine over there, guys. So that's our final pick right there. And tomorrow we'll do pick 21 through 32. And we'll finish this up for the first round. This has actually been more fun than I thought, trying to analyze what they're going to do. But we've dwindled down the top 20 players. Now it's going to be a little harder picking who they're going to go with. But not really. I'm just going to look at the depth chart and look at their needs and basically go with what they should do. You know what I mean? And that's another way you can see how the NFL is rigged. It's like, why would a team pick this player when they could have gone there? So that shows you that they're botching picks on purpose. You know what I mean? Because every pick that I made seems like a sound pick. Like, it seems like, all right, I could see why a team would do that. But who knows what's going to happen. We got this guy right here. Who do they compare him to? Oh, yeah, Addison. I saw him. I just want to look at a few of these guys. Keon Coleman, I didn't see him. Drake London, I did see that. So he's a good pickup. So a Keon Coleman, imagine he goes to like the Chiefs, a 6'3" guy like that. The Chiefs need a big receiver, a big body guy. Or imagine he goes to like even the Patriots, because the Patriots they're picking in 3 picks, and I'm gonna have them pick a receiver. It's probably gonna be this Drake London receiver comparison guy. Keon Coleman is probably going to be a Patriot. But we'll see. I don't want to get ahead of myself. That's if I don't have one of these other guys picking them. And finally, we see a running back. They compare him to Aaron Jones. God damn, he even looks like him. That's pretty cool. So, I mean, there's some teams that need running backs, but he's probably going to be a day 2 guy because teams don't really go for running backs because it's kind of absurd to be doing that. Penix, we already saw that. Yeah, I didn't even get to page 3 yet. I think they stopped doing comparisons on page 3. Oh, no, they don't. That's cool. But eventually, you gotta think that they will, eventually. Justin Simmons, damn. Damn, they got some damn good players, even on page 3. Yeah, some of these comparisons are not that good, though, the further you go down. Dante Jackson, What's this comparison? Autry as a D tackle? Dude's a D end. That's so weird. Yeah, see right here, no comparison for this guy. So around here, it looks like it stops with the comparisons. Oh, no, I guess some guys just don't get compared. Marcus Spears, not bad. Dude had a 10-year career, but he played end. Trey McBride, that's not a bad player that can be compared to a tight end. Harold Landry, damn. Yeah, guys, there are some damn good players. This NFL is going to be definitely a crazy year. You got all these comparisons to all these kind of players. Like, how? Nothing for him. See, some guys don't get compared to anyone. Or it might be the end of the list. 16. Wow, that's a lot, though, when you think about it. I'm trying to see where the comparisons end. So it looks like around this page. Yeah. So here it is. They end the comparisons at the end of page 3, it looks like. Because it's a lot of players to compare these players to. So it ends around like here, it looks like, where they stop. Well, no, further, probably. Yeah, around this point, they end it. Yep. Right around that Trey McBride guy. Devontae Freeman, damn. That's a good running back comparison. Yeah, so around that point. Yeah, Devontae Freeman comparison. So 66. Imagine that. They stop at 6'6" as the last comparison, guys. Wow. Of course they did. Thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.